Good morning. How are you all? Thank you for joining me. It's a nice sunny day out there. We got a few seconds. Actually, it's start time, so it's 7 o'clock. So I want you to know in your heart that everything is A-OK as long as you keep your head about you and do not become so overly concerned or fearful about what's going on out there. You've heard me say this before, but go on inside and find that happy place. And this is your time to do that, so let's take a moment right now, close our eyes, step inside, open up your heart, and choose to feel good. Choose to feel uplifted. No matter what you're being told in the news, let that go. Take some time right now, just focus in on you. Stay focused inwardly. If you are not adept at doing this, then think of a happy moment. A happy moment in your past. And feel what you felt back then. Feel a smile in your heart. Perhaps let it crease your lips. Breathe through the nose. Slow it down. And throughout this practice, keep your heart open. Open with an elevated emotion, an uplifted feeling. Something that even right in the middle of your practice makes you smile or start laughing out loud. It matters not. It matters not what it is, as long as it brings a smile to your face. And if you are not adept at this, just practice. You've done it many, many times unconsciously. Now you're doing it with awareness. Now lower your chin to your chest, so lift your chest and bring your shoulders back. Let your head hang forward. And then begin half circles. Bring one ear to one shoulder, back through center, and then to the other side. Keep your chest lifted. It's going to tend to drop. Your back will tend to round. Moving the head and neck as you stay open in the thoracic spine. Take it right into a full circle. And smile once again. Feel good. Sing that song to yourself. I feel good. Come on, keep it going. Reverse direction. You know that I would now. Open up. Now, bring your head back on your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back. Take your arms out to the sides and then hug yourself. Take them out again, other arm on top, hug yourself. Open it up. Take your hands back behind you, fingertips or palms to the floor, lift up through the thoracic spine. Open up, lift up, and then bring the arms forward. Reach them forward, clasp the hands. See my hands, clasp them. And then bring it in and round. Inhale, open up, reach the arms forward, unclasp, bring the arms back behind you, down to the mat behind you, lift up through the chest. Exhaling, bring them forward. The other arm goes on top now. Bring the hands in and round. Inhale, open up. Reach it forward and up and out. Hands down, open it up. Bring your legs forward. Bring the arms up overhead. Exhale into a forward bend. So you're sitting and doing a forward bend. You're not going to have as much flexibility. So begin to roll from side to side. This is also early in the practice, so you're going to be feeling tight. And you gradually come into this. Now inhale, slide your fingers up your shins, flattening that spine, straighten it out, lengthening, exhale, come forward. Inhale, take it up again. Exhale, release forward. One more time. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, forward bend. Now, inhaling, lift up. Bring your feet in. Bottoms of the feet come together. You're in your Baddha Konasana, butterfly. Either clasp your hands and wrap them around your toes or grab your ankles and begin to move one knee down and the other knee up. Bringing some movement into the legs, opening up the outer hips, inner legs. Start to get the knees moving in the same direction at the same time. Now, use the muscles in the back of your torso to pull your shoulder blades together and sit up taller. You're basically pulling yourself forward. Keep moving the knees. Now here, take your hands, bring them right behind you. Use your arms to help push you forward. You're rolling forward on your sits bones. Press your knees down as best you can. Lift up through the sternum. Lift up the chest. Start to look up just a little bit. You're not looking straight up. And then come into a forward bend. Come on up. Lift up. Take the legs, straighten them out, shake them out. Roll them. Come on into your table pose. Move in table. Do a few spinal waves. And then come back to neutral. Take your left leg out to the left, back behind you, underneath, and out to the left again. So you're circling. Keep your hips square to the floor and try to bring the knee up high to the left side. So you can articulate that femur head in the hip joint. And then set it down, move your hips from side to side. Come back to center, take your right knee out to the right, back behind you, underneath, and out to the right again, completing that circle and continuing on. Once again, actively keep your hips square to the mat. Breathe here. Set it down. Once again, move your hips from side to side. Start walking your hands forward or your knees back. Keep your hips right over your knees. Walk the hands forward. Bring your forehead as close to the mat as you can. If you can put the forehead on the mat, do that. Now walk your hands back in a little bit, staying in extended table. Start to move forward on the inhale and move back on the exhale. Keep moving, keep your arms straight initially. Come into that cobra, open it up, reach back into your down dog. Just do this one thing right now. As you're moving forward and back, focus on your breath primarily. Make that audible sound, Ujjayi breathing, also called Ujjayi breathing. Next time you bring your hips forward, step your left foot forward. Continue to move forward and back. Forward on the inhale, moving back on the exhale. Now come forward, bring that knee right over the heel. Take your right hand a little bit out more to the right and forward of the foot. Take the left arm, open it up as you come into a twist. Start moving your top left arm. Move it forward, move it up, move it back. As you do so, as you move it forward, your chest closes. As you move it up, it starts to open and opens even more as you move the arm back. You inhale that arm forward. You are exhaling as you move it back. Now take that left hand and place it on your hip. Lift up your sternum as you twist to the left. And then close it, set your hand down, step back, move around here, whatever feels good for you. Circling or going forward and backwards, reversing that circle. Stepping your right foot forward and continuing with your movement, coming forward, back bending, moving back, forward bending. As you're moving, bring to mind that happy thought. And feel the feeling associated with that happy thought. You can find happiness, you can find joy in just moving forward and back. It's really your choice. Next time you come forward, plant that left hand to the left and forward of the foot. Take the right arm, reach it up, twisting, opening up here. Starting to move that top arm. You're inhaling as soon as that arm starts to move forward. You're exhaling as soon as that arm begins to move back. Breathe here. Take that hand on the right hip. Lift and twist. Lift that sternum, twist a little deeper. And release down, step back. Once again, move. Loosen up. Now, as you continue to move forward and back, curl your toes underneath you. Pop up into a downward dog as you start to move back. Slide forward to a plank. Move back to your down dog. Do this a few more times. And then stay in your down dog. And start to work it. Walk your hands back. Come into your forward bend. Grab your opposite elbows. Begin to sway from side to side. Move the torso. Let the head hang. Come back to center. Now this is what we're going to do. We have our elbows locked with our hands. We're going to lift up. Elbows are leading. Arms are leading. You're going to lift up and you're going to come back down. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Continue on. This is adding more weight, and so the abs have to work harder. If you want to bend your knees, you can bend your knees. Your back muscles will actually work a little bit more. One more. And hang and release the elbows. And then with soft knees, roll all the way up. Take your arms up, overhead. Release them back down. Lift them up again. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Grab the left wrist and lean over to your right. Come on back up. Switch wrists, lean over to your left. Come on back up. Switch again, lean to the right. Inhale up. Switching and leaning to the left. Inhale up. Release the arms. Roll them. Alright, from here, come into tree. Raise that left foot. Come right into your tree. Find your drishti point, your focal point. Externally, find your focal point internally. Relax your arms, your shoulders. Lift up through the sternum. Come into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Go to the other side. Feel free to have your arms, your hands anywhere. But if your arms are out, relax them, soften. If your arms are overhead, reach and turn on the fire hoses. It's like electricity going through the fingertips. Back into your mountain pose. Take the arms, reach them up overhead. Come into your forward bend. Come all the way back up. Back bend all the way up. Come into a squat. If you can, take your hands up off the mat. I'll put them down for a second. Walk the balls of your feet back so your toes lengthen, then come back up. See if you can bring the torso vertical. And then stand right up. Come to the top of your mat. So standing in Tadasana. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale into a forward bend. Open it up halfway. Exhale, release. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back. Spin that heel down and come on up into Warrior Two. Check out your alignment. Come into a peaceful warrior and then into a Parshvottanasana. Come on into Warrior Two. Straighten out that front leg and come into your triangle. Come on back up into Warrior Two. Turn that left foot forward, take the hands to the hips, turn the right foot out. Warrior Two. Peaceful warrior. Parshvottanasana, side angle. Warrior Two. Straighten the leg and come into triangle. Warrior Two. Hands to the hips, both feet turn forward, forward bend. Just hang in your forward bend. Now grab your ankles, pull yourself a little deeper. Now bring your hands underneath you to the mat. Bring your heels in and come on up into Goddess pose. Bring the wrists back, elbows forward so the shoulder blades come together. Deepen your pose. Come all the way up. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, reach. Coming down into that squat, opening up. Exhaling down, inhaling out. Again, take the hands down, reach the heels out, and then put some weight into your hands and jump your feet together. Come back into your squat. Bring your feet right next to each other this time. Lift the heels up. Feel free to keep the hands down. If you want, you can lift your hands up. Take your knees wide, take your hands down. Come down even more. So you're working your lower back. If you can, you bring your elbows down. If not, you just come down a little bit and you stretch out that low back. Lift back up. Come down to a seat. Shake your legs out, straighten them out, shake them out. And then take your right foot in. So the hips are square straight ahead. It's a rather simple forward bend, stretching out the back of one leg, sit up tall, lift up, lift up. Come into that forward bend. Keep your toes on your left foot pointing up at 12 o'clock. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to massage your toes on that left foot, if you can reach it. If you cannot reach, you're going to massage the toes on the right foot. You're welcome to do both feet at the same time, both sets of toes, or take both hands to the one foot or the other. Now if your toes are stiff, work them. Work them and keep working them. You want to get that stiffness out. Continue to forward bend, so you're stretching the back of that left leg. Alright, come on up. Switch sides. Massage whatever joints need it. And then go right into your forward bend and start working the toes once again. Working your forward bend, stretching out, but also massaging those toes. Keep stretching. Reach a little deeper. And then come on back up. Straighten out your left leg. Shake it out. Now, come on onto your hands and knees once again. And let's go into a side plank with the right side down, the left arm reaching up. So from your extended table, kick your right foot out to the right. Left leg goes long behind you. Left arm reaches up. And you can stay right there. Lift the sternum. If you want, you can lift your left leg, lifting it parallel to the floor. So lift it higher than you think, and that'll be parallel. Bend that knee, reach back and grab the left instep, and kick into that hand so the knee moves behind you. The knee should be as high as the hip. Now release the foot, reach the foot back, and the arm straight up. And then close it down. Go to the other side. So this time, the left foot kicks out behind, the right leg opens up, the right arm opens up. And if you want, the right leg can lift. Now lift your sternum. See if you can bring your shoulder blades together on this side. Bend that knee and reach back. Bring the shoulder blades together again. Kick into that right hand. Back bend here. Turn your torso up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades coming together. Extend the foot behind you, the arm up. And then close it down. Now reach back into a child's pose. Now from your child's pose, kneel up, curl the toes underneath you, walk your knees back so you can curl the toes even more. And we're going to come into a camel pose. So take your left arm and reach it up. What we're going to do is going to take the right hand and reach back. And see if you can put the hand onto the heel. Then see if you can square your hips and your shoulders forward. You can reach the arm straight up, you can reach it back behind you, or reach your hips forward. Come on back up. Sit down for a second. Extend the toes behind you so you're on the tops of the feet. Roll from side to side. Come on back up. Curl the toes. Walk the knees back. Extend the right arm up. Reach the left hand back. Placing it on the heel. And then start to work the pose. Squaring the shoulders as best you can. Squaring the hips. Reaching the hips forward. As you back bend here. And then come on up and come into a full child's pose. Now, bring your torso up, sitting on your heels once again. Start to work your quads. Take your hands back behind you. And stretch out those quads. So go back. Only as deep as you can. Go slowly. Breathe here. Notice if one quad is a little tighter than the other. And take your time on that. And then come forward. Come onto your hands and knees. Curl your toes underneath. What you're going to do here is you're going to hover your knees. Lift them up just an inch. Now pull your belly in. Keeping your knees hovering, slide your hips back and come into a short down dog. And then walk your feet halfway forward. So you're in a long forward bend. And then bring your hands closer to your toes, to your feet, and hang. And then roll all the way back up. So, we're going to come into pyramid pose. Parsvottanasana. So, let's do this. We're standing on our mat. Come to, now you can do it either way. You can either step forward or step back. So, if you're in the middle of your mat, then step your right foot forward. Now when you step it forward, it's not stepping far. Your feet are probably 2.5 feet apart. Both feet are pretty much straight ahead. The back foot may be turned out a little bit towards 11 o'clock. Okay? Now you can keep your arms out like this for balance. You can clasp your hands behind your back, or you can grab the opposite elbows. And then start to come forward very slowly. Now since the right foot is forward and the left foot is back, the right hip is going to be forward of the left hip. Your job is to keep the hip square. So start to move your left hip forward. Keep coming into that forward bend as deeply as you can. Moving the right hip back, the left hip forward. Bringing your forehead close to your shin, or closer. Now begin to lift up, back bending up. Bring your feet together, step the left one forward. Same thing. So work it out. Bring those feet proper distance apart for you. The back heel, by the way, always stays on the mat. It does not lift at all. If it's lifting, you're too far apart. Feet are too far apart. Both legs stay straight on this one. So let's do this. Inhale, back bend, lift up. Exhale, come into that forward bend. Both feet are straight ahead. Maybe the back foot is slightly towards 1 o'clock. Bring that right hip forward. Move the left hip back. You have to actively do this. Start to lift up. Come all the way up. Step your feet together. Unclasp your hands. Roll your shoulders. Get the arms involved here. Is this our 3rd week? I think so. So, hopefully we get back together fairly soon, because we're all missing each other. Drop your chin, do half circles. And make your way back down to the floor. Come onto your back. Knees are bent. Feet are flat on the floor. Arms are alongside your torso. If you're someone who needs a blanket underneath your head, then put a blanket underneath so that your forehead and your chin are at the same height. Start to press into your feet, lift your hips up, bring your shoulder blades close together. Lift your hips even higher and start to work this pose. Now your hands can be as minor, they can be in goalpost, they can be clasped. They can be supporting your hips, so placing your palms underneath your hips. Reach up, push those hips up, push those feet down and away from you. Lift it, lift it, lift it, open up. Now take your arms overhead. Like
gets the shoulder blades out from underneath, start to lower down from the upper vertebrae through the middle to the lower. Then, and only then, do you get the glutes to touch. That's challenging. So, lengthen your spine first. So I just scooted my spine long. Press your lower back down into that mat. Take your legs straight up. This should be actually simple. You don't even have to press hard because the legs are in a position where it facilitates that. Take your left leg, start to lower it forward. Heel touches and then lifts up. It doesn't bounce up. It lifts up. Everything is slow. You switch legs. Now, either the lower back is lifting up or it's pressing down. You have your choice. It's more challenging to keep the low back pressing down. Just keep moving one leg after another, and then when you're done with that one you're on now, bring both legs up. You're going to bend your knees. Now you're not going to bring your knees in. You're going to bring your knees so that they're right above the hips. Now you're going to point your feet, point your toes. You're going to touch the toes, bring them back up. Touch the toes, bring them back up. Now, the key to this is keep your lower back pressed to the mat. When you bring the knees up, you're going to want to bring them in here. Don't bring them in there. Keep them vertical. Thighs are vertical. Upper legs are vertical. You can actually clasp your hands behind your head, lift your head, and see if you are doing just that. All right, hug the knees in. You should have felt that. Start to roll from side to side. Now, as you roll to the right, bring the knees all the way down, take the left arm out to the left. Your gaze is to the left. Now come back to center. Wrap your arms around. Pull the knees in. Bring the knees wide. And come into happy baby. Gently roll side to side. If you're open enough, one knee can come down and touch the floor. Go to the other side and get the other knee. Now, straighten the legs out wide. Then bring the feet overhead. Then take them wide. One more time overhead. Take them wide. Bend the knees, coming back to your happy baby. And then lower the knees to the left. Right arm to the right. Gaze is to the right. Opening up here, just laying down in silence, breathing. Come on back, hug the knees in, wrap the arms around, gently roll. And then come on into your Shavasana. We're going to have some Shavasana time. We're going to have a couple minutes of meditation after that. So set yourself up. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. Get those shoulders and those shoulder blades nestled underneath. Slow your breath down. Quiet your mind, softening, eventually letting go of your thoughts, and then begin to feel either various parts of the body or the physical body as a whole. Use that physical body to be your barometer and notice what it is you feel in various areas. Find that happy place. Now at your own pace, you're going to roll to your right side and come up to a seated position and remain in that comfortable seated pose.
eyes closed, remaining inside. Finding that happy place once again. Feeling it even more so. Letting that feeling of joy, the sensation of smiles, totally overtake you. Once you're there, send it out. Beam outwardly to everyone on the planet. As you give, you receive. And the more you give, the more you're going to have coming back. Keep beaming. Bring your hands to the heart. Either place them on the chest or bring your hands to each other. May the rest of your day continue to be blessed. May you continue to bless others. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy this day.